relevant now. So you need to keep on evolving. You can't have a value proposition that you always use, especially if you're doing various customers, for all the customers. Customers are different, or clients are different. So each one, you've got to go to everyone with a unique value proposition. And that's why it's called unique, because your clients are unique. You are unique as well in what you're proposing. So keep on evolving, especially with IT now. A whole lot of things have changed. I mean, I've looked at the shapes of cars now. They kind of all look the same. Now, the car dealers have got to find something of a unique value that will sell to you, that you will buy. Some will be price, some will be comfort. I mean, I've just learned that it's a Cherry Tiggo. They offer you that car with a lifetime guarantee on the engine. So who wants to be fixing an engine? I mean, if it breaks down, I can just take it back, they'll fix it for free. So everybody has got to have that unique selling point that you will be able to take to your client, and it's got to be different to each and every client that you see. That's my my 2 cents worth.
Thank you, Lesetja. And I think that is a beautiful highlight, also bringing out that it has to be unique. Like, it's not, don't want to say not good enough, but it's like, it's not good enough. Why should we get it from you over the next accountant that's also passionate about doing my books? Like, there has to be that reason. There just has to be that reason why. And it won't fit for every single body, but you have to have that reason.
That's the perception that needs to change, because some people think, oh, I need an accountant. Which accountant should I use? Oh, well, an accountant is an accountant is an accountant. Couldn't be further from the truth, because they're all extremely different. They all have different value propositions. They all do things in a different way. One may do something in a way that does not suit your purposes, and one may do it exactly the way that suits your purposes. So for an accountant to have their unique value proposition very crystal clear as to why they do what they do and how they do what they do, for which specific clients and what problems they're actually solving, then I can stand back and go, oh, that's a problem I have. And oh, they have the solution. Mm-hmm. I now understand what their unique value proposition is, and it solves my issue. So, an accountant is not just an accountant. You and especially if you're out there as an accountant, and I know that a lot of professionals that are out there, from legal to financial services, they're all great at what they do. But understanding their unique selling point is not something that they're very clear on.
I'm curious, who here has actually written down their unique selling propositions? Like, written it down? Like, hands up if you've written it down.
I tattooed it on my rear end. You want to see it?
No, it's fine. We do. We want to see. Who wants to see it? That is really cool to see so many of you have actually written it down. We have not. And that is a very big mistake, because it's slippery. It's like a fish. I'm going to tell you guys, like, the one day you think you know it, and like the next minute someone asks and you're like, blah, blah, blah. You see, that's why. So yeah, I'm really loving this conversation. Janine, let's bring Dubai into the conversation.
Yeah, I think also by writing it down, it just makes it more real, if that makes sense. It's like your goals. It's not written down, it's nothing. And in business and marketing, the unique value proposition is a statement that clearly tells your potential customers how they will benefit from your offer, how your products or services will address their needs and also solve problems, and what makes your offer different from the competition. The term unique value proposition is often mutually used with the term your unique selling point. or your
Yeah.
unique selling proposition? Do you even know that? Or are they the same? Now, for me, unique value proposition is a form of a brand message that helps you make your customers actually fall in love with your brand. So if you know what you are good at, you know what you are selling, you know who your target market is, you're far more ahead of your competitor than you think. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, your virtual sales office.
Thank you, Janine. That was so short. I was like, keep talking. I love listening to you, Janine.
Let me just throw a spanner in the works. A unique value proposition tells somebody why they need your services. Basically, you're solving a problem for them.
It's about the value.
But what happens if you're selling something that nobody needs? Can you be smart enough to create a unique selling point or value proposition that somebody would actually look at something they don't need and go, oh, wow, I need that? Because we see that all the time. Lots of people and lots of spaces are created in such a way that they're actually selling things that people don't need, and they're selling things that people don't need successfully because they understand how to create their value proposition.
Yeah, but there's not longevity in that. But
There's no
I understand what you're saying.
You understand what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got lots of stuff that you might not need, so.
Like, they actually need you guys. So they need the stuff. Like, that's what we're saying. So just go through the pain, do the value prop. Yes, Janine.
I just want to add something else there. What I really appreciated what Hendrik mentioned earlier is that the personalization that he's putting into his services. 80% of business owners does not make the decision because there's a lack of personalization. Think about that.
Oh. Yo.
I told you, Peter.
You told me.
Yeah, it's about having those one-on-one conversations.
Yeah.
You know, doing the work, the grunt work, the
grunt
dirty
work.
work.
The dirty work.
Actually,
the work that I do.
You need to hire Janine, actually.
Why does Janine do dirty work?
Janine does the dirty sales work. You know, that spreadsheet that you never look at that we're supposed to have, she does that.
It's not about not looking at a spreadsheet, it's that I just don't look at spreadsheets at all.
Janine, Peter's idea of going through a sales process, I'm sorry guys, we'll move on right now. Moving right along, Peter's idea of performing and executing a sales process is literally having random conversations with Peter, with like random people, never writing it down. And then, of course, the follow-up never happens because at like 2 seconds from now, we don't know who we just spoke to.
Well, I think maybe let's look at the bigger picture. I think Peter's idea of a sales process is to find
I think, Peter, I think you're taking it living in the now very seriously.
Oh, very, very, very. Yeah.
Anyway, moving along swiftly.
That's why we have Janine's.
Okay. Hendrik, we are now finally live on YouTube. We're going to release the rest of the recording on there as well. But for the people now actually watching on YouTube, I promised them, like, we will just quickly bring you back, giving them that amazing example that you did in the beginning. Please, just one repeat performance. We will release the rest of the recording, but for the people watching right now, can you just repeat what you did in the beginning? Please.
Like when I go on a internet and I learn my words and I play the scene and I go to the next one, I immediately forgot what those words were. So now you're asking me to remember something I've already forgotten.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Paid media. We've just redesigned our website, and we did that because we finally figured out what our brand looks like and what we want the message to be. A simple and clear message to our potential clients. And if we talk about the website, we wanted it to be clean. We wanted it to be easy to navigate. And we wanted to be content rich with loads of value within that website. And that's why I spent a lot of time writing a ton of articles on various topics around podcasting and content marketing, because we think those two go hand in hand. And if you have a podcast, you can easily turn it into a content marketing campaign as your source material. So that's the one thing. So we've got a podcast series. We've got another one coming. We've got transcriptions of podcasts. There's articles based on those podcast episodes coming within the next week or two. So there's a load of lots of value that we're giving somebody. We are here to sell. Of course, we want to sell things, but we don't think we can sell anything unless you first have some value from us that we're just giving you. I don't want to give you a free book. Our book is for sale, but there's a load of value in that you're getting, a ton of value from that book, which is very reasonably priced. And by the way, the book is available on all online bookshops, wherever you are in the world. Just type in "Become a Podmaster" and you'll find it. So that's the one thing. And then the value proposition that we provide is personalized service. I think Janine mentioned it just now. That really is like we're talking to Stephen, who's saying, like, look, I'm thinking of starting a podcast. I don't know how. Well, let's figure out exactly what your needs are. What do you want? And then we can go, okay, look, we've got this, that, and the other. Let's shape this to suit you, because we want you to be a success. We want you to be able to start a podcast and successfully continue with it and not fade after 2 or 3 episodes because you have no clue what you're doing. We're currently running a series of workshops with Dr. Barbara van Heerden and her team, who's starting a podcast. And we're literally babysitting them from the word go. What do you want to? Why do you want to podcast? Who do you want to speak to? And then breaking it down into all the technical aspects, how to script it, how to plan your season, how to edit it, what graphics you need for, which platform are you putting it on? Let's look at the platform. What sizes of graphics do you need, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's that personalized service that we think is important for our clients. So I hope in a nutshell, that's what you are referring to. And if you want to see what that looks like, well, go to our website, baird.media. You spell that BAIRD.media, baird.media. You want to go to Baird, go to Baird Media. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for the repeat.
Thank you, Hendrik. And I love the Baird Media dance. I feel like that's one thing. The Baird Media, something like. We need to learn that. See, Janine's getting it. It's really, really cool. Thank you so much for repeating, Hendrik. I just thought it was very valuable to bring that back, like from a teaching, like we're learning from each other perspective, just so everyone that's online right now can also see that. Over to you, Mr. Levy. So brand identity and unique value propositions.
Okay, so you probably didn't think I'd contribute to this, but I think first of all, I listened to all this valuable information that Hendrik and Janine have given and Lesetja. But I think often there's a misinterpretation on unique, and it's overplayed, because I think they misinterpret unique to having to reinvent the wheel. But actually, we're all unique, and we all have something unique. We have to go and find that, or discover it, should I say. We don't find our uniqueness, we just discover it. So I think that's the one thing, and that's the uniqueness that we can offer. So in my profession or my practice, in the industry that I'm in, there's a lot of leadership coaches. They all speak the same language. They say things differently, but it means the same. So what makes you unique? It comes back to what Explore ProTech stands for, is coffee first, business later. It's building relationships. And you will find your uniqueness. And what do people, not everybody is going to love what you do. So I think you've got to, what I've learned on my journey is just understanding what informs you of your journey or of what you do. So that was my journey. I'm not going to go into all of that now, but that certainly informed me in what I do and why I do what I do. And the space that I do work in is because of my own experiences of what I saw shouldn't happen. And how I deliver that, I think, is unique to me. It has been fed back to me that you haven't heard that before. So I didn't go into a whole intense marketing research in trying to identify what my unique value proposition is. It just kind of, it comes from inside. And I want to just touch on the brand. Our brand identity starts with us. We are our brand. So I think the first thing is, get in touch with yourself, and I go back to your logo. My logo is not just, it's not just a logo. It has every single part of that logo has meaning in it for me, but it also, when I say for me, it's for me that informs me of how and why I coach. And that's my brand identity. Not everybody knows that, but the messages that I give out and speak to, they come off that. They're built off that foundation of my logo. And there's a lot of depth in the coaching, small things, not a one size fits all. Something that Hendrik used, it's tailored to meet the needs of the clients that I'm working with. So those, I think, are unique, not to me, but the way I do it, because there's a lot of people that tailor their business to meet other people's needs. So I think it's very important to understand that you yourself are unique, have clarity in what you're doing. And I think the big thing is believe in it. You have to believe in what you're doing. And not everybody, it's not going to be a unique value proposition or selling proposition to everybody. There's 7 billion people on the planet, or 8. Not everybody is going to buy into it, and not everybody is going to resonate with it. But believe in it and go out there and speak firmly with intention. And you only want those people who do resonate with it. You can't force them to. So I think, that's very much what I've said about brand identity, your messaging, and something you said, Nestene, is it is a journey, and the core of your identity doesn't change, but the messaging does. So that happens along how you deliver, or the content of the message that you're delivering will change, as Lesetja said, because what worked 10 years ago might not be relevant now. So we got to keep changing that. And who do we learn that from? We need to listen to our clients.
Yeah.
And we can, if we listen to what they're saying, it'll inform us. I've changed my messaging a couple of times because of the wonderful lessons that I was privileged to learn from my clients. So, that's what my input on marketing and branding and so on. Yeah, and you'll find how unique you are to those people that resonate with you.
Thank you, Mr. Levy. I just have to tell you, from the moment we met, from the first time we met, your brand actually really stood out to me. For those of you that haven't seen the brand, it's actually at the back on the wall, there to be. It looks kind of like a rugby ball, and it immediately grabbed my attention because obviously I'm a lookalike of a potential client, right? So I'm a type of person that you potentially would like it to resonate with, and it does. So that was very, very powerful. It's something I noticed straight off the bat, and I think for a leadership coach, that is very well done. So, and I know also why that is, because you explained it to me in the first session as well. So because you believe so deeply in the words that you put down there, dare to be. That's what you want to help people. You want them to dare to be the best versions of themselves, and that's literally why you're there, to walk the journey with them. So I think that's just so beautiful. So I just want to recognize that.
Thank you, Nestene. Yeah, well, I think, the dare to be comes from, because from my own journey, I got to a point in my life where I had to dare to be me. Mm-hmm. That's ultimately where it came from. And yeah.
Yeah, so it has that strong, very strong inner anchor.
It's almost naturally created the unique selling point without intentionally trying to sit down and create the unique selling point.
That's very unfair. The rest of us have to put in a lot of work, Mr. Lee.
No, you don't. I went through, just to come back to something, is that to get to that, I actually worked with a branding coach, and all she did was unpack my journey, who I was, what I believed in. And that's where it kind of came out. So yeah, there's a lot of work put into that. But it's that inner work.
Yeah.
And what informs you of your journey, you know.
That is very, very cool.
I'm not too sure if I want anybody unpacking me, because I'm just never sure if I'll actually get it all packed back in. It came out this way. I don't know how it all goes back.
I think I have found our value proposition, guys. You have to tell me if this is actually a value proposition. So I think our value proposition is we bring hope and support to fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs around the world by giving them access to market, each other, and the training that they need in order to be successful. Is that overthought? It feels overthought. What do you guys think? Like on a scale from 1 to 5?
I'm going back to coffee first, business later.
I was just going to say, I agree. The first thing I think of is your value proposition is coffee first, business later. Powerful.
Thank you. Now I know as well. That's a lot easier to remember as well. Amazing. Moving over to Joanne. I learned something today.
Yeah, I agree. The coffee first is the best one. Yeah, USPs and brand, they're so intertwined. I mean, the USP, it's what helps you to stand out from others that do the same thing you do. But your brand is what really tells the story essentially of who you are, what your business is about. And, you know, it's not just the colors and the logo and the words you use and such that make your brand. It's also you, the people behind the name of the company. So it's really bringing that out and letting the audience get to know you so that they trust you more. And yeah, so it's all one big package that makes the brand.
Yeah, something I noticed in your space, Joanne, is that you know, there's a lot of spaces where there are a lot of people that do exactly the same as each other, and then they all have to come up with their unique selling point. But you're in a space where I don't think I've ever come across anybody that does what you do, which so
shows people that you live under a rock.
Wow. Wow.
I'm joking.
So in your space, the unique value proposition is not about defining yourself and differentiating yourself from others. It's educating others on what it is that you actually do and how they can actually use it in their
How
space.
it makes their days better, their jobs better, gets their message across easier for them.
Yeah, and I must
Question.
sorry, carry on, Hendrik.
Sorry, I want to ask Joanne a question from somebody who's written a book to somebody who's written a book. How does your book fit into your value proposition and your brand and so on? I would love to hear your opinion on that.
It really goes hand in hand because my business is, well, predominantly done remotely. The book is all about that journey of how it came about and how I intertwined it within my business and how it can help others to tell their stories too. So it's very much all one thing.
We definitely want to share the books because I know that we're in one of them. So people will just have to buy both to figure out which book we're in. No, I think that I think the natural progression, and I think Mr. Levy, you may or may not agree with what I'm about to say, but I think the natural progression, I think you're going to be the next person to produce a book in this space, unless Sondra beats you to it, because she's very competitive.
Well, Sondra will probably beat the book out of Mr. Levy and then write her own as well. Like, she's that good.
She'll write the book about how she got Mr. Levy to write a book.
That would be more of a challenge than beating me to writing the book. I haven't even finished reading my matric network book.
Oh, you guys are funny. But Joanne, I also feel like you have a very strong personal brand. Like, it comes across very strong. I'm not sure how that always reflects in the website, but I've kind of seen it like develop over time as well, which is also so interesting to watch.
That's been a great journey to watch.
Yeah, it's like a butterfly coming out of like
Mhm.
the cocoon. It's really, really cool. I love your brand, by the way. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel like this
Aw.
is so fun, and we're going around the world with virtual photographer, and then you have that thing where it's like, where in the world is Joanne right now? Like that is so cool. I guess it's again because I'm a lookalike target market for most of you guys. So like that one definitely gets me as well. But I think that's also valuable, like being able to give each other feedback like this. We should do that more. Like we shouldn't just wait for the coffee shop show to actually do that, because it's so valuable.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are either we are each other's lookalike clients or we know each other's lookalike clients. So we are able to tell, like if like we're able to tell people like, look, your message is just not like, it's just, but let's work on it. Like, because I feel like we can do so much more with this. We should do that more.
We should do that more.
That's very helpful.
Hmm.
Lesetja, oh, Joanne, yes, please tell us what your brand actually is. Sorry, we just kind of like ran away with your section.
Well, it's Joanne of Joanne Moorhouse Photography, and as we've alluded to, I am a business photographer, but I do most of my work remotely through a special app. So it's a convenient and faster option for clients with no borders.
I like that.
Stunning. Thank you, Joanne. You guys must all get your photography done by Joanne. She's amazing, and all your podcasts has to go through Big Media. It just has to.
Or you become a digital nomad and learn how to do podcasts with Hendrik, and then document your travels with Joanne. It couldn't be any better.
You guys should do a package for digital nomads. Like that could like be a legit thing. Like that would be a very unique value proposition.
Is there anybody doing that at the moment?
I don't think so. I feel like we just came up with that. It's like the McDonald's of service industry idea.
I want 10%.
Coffee first, business later.
No, this is amazing. So Hendrik and Joanne, let me just call it, they will collaborate, but there's somebody behind them that will get them to do it, and that's Sondra. They're gonna get it done with Sondra. You know, there's just no going anywhere. And if they dare to be themselves within what they're doing, we've got Mr. Levy. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, I think we're forgetting to define what I think we've talked more about the unique value proposition as against USP and that, but we're forgetting to define what your brand identity is. And I think Mr. Levy, you touched a bit on it with your logo. And now we get to look at all the logos. What do they see? What do they say to us? Look at Sondra Ray's one. Get it done with Sondra. Sondra may be able to tell us exactly what she means by the two hands. But I've looked at most of the logos and the colors. I mean, each time you see a color, let's say yellow, for instance, you can say that's a McDonald's yellow, that's a MTN yellow. The red, that's a Coca-Cola red, that's a Vodacom red, because they've identified themselves with that color. So for me, that's how you identify yourself, your logo and the color. And of course, the messaging that comes thereafter. When there used to be cigarette adverts, you'd find each cigarette company having their own kind of a person that represented them. So whenever you see a picture of that person, you identify that person with the brand. So it's how you get people to identify your brand with you, or your brand wherever they go. Whether you're in Nigeria, if you see MTN, but the MTN yellow, you know it's MTN, you know. So identity of your brand, it's not only the logo though, it's also the color, it's also the marketing, it's also the drive that you put behind it. And Hendrik, I think you're doing it very well on LinkedIn now. You're putting a drive behind it. So whenever we see your two colors, before we even see the name, we see Bird Media. You know, so that is exactly what brand identity is. And thank you for that, Hendrik. And Levy, thank you. Sondra, Joanne, JMP, thank you so much. I cannot say thank you to Nestene and Peter. We're still doing coffee.
What I was thinking, based on that conversation, is that I think that we need to change our branding colors to black and blue, so that when she beats me, I can still blend into my brand.
Oh, wow, Peter, you just went there. You just went there.
Don't hurt me.
Lesetja, you're an awesome teacher. I'm loving watching you develop in this space as well. I mean, that was so beautifully put. Really phenomenal public speaker and a teacher. I love that. Sondra, are you going to say something before we wrap up the show? Maybe tell us what your hands mean. I do love your logo, by the way. I love the get it done as well, because every single time without fail, like when I see it, I'm like, I struggle to get things done. I need Sondra. Like, that's probably why we're best friends, because it's like, I just need Sondra. Nothing's done. How did she know? None of my things are ever done. They just don't get done.
You get things done, Nestene. I mean, obviously, why are people still hiring you to build courses and teach? You know, you're in high demand. So obviously you're getting stuff done. So don't discount that. Why the hands? The hands are because I work alongside people. Yes, can I do some things for people and get it done for them? Yes, I love to take things off people's plates, but I also work alongside them, because goal accountability and reaching your goals is a partnership. So I partner with people to get their goals done. So that's why there's the hands. And as far as getting it done, yeah, my name, Sondra, means defender. So I have always helped from a very young age, as young as 5. I've always helped in family situations and so on and so forth. So, so yeah, that's why my name is in there with it. As far as getting it done, 5 kids, 3 grandkids, you got to get it done. It's just not a choice in the matter. My business coach said this morning, she's like, we got to get all the things done before summer break starts, because, you know, June will be a packed month, an amazing month. And I was like, yeah, but you do realize June is next week. So I was like, okay, sure, we would get it done. So yeah, that is exactly what it means. And that is why the 2 hands is because I partner with people to get things done. I'm Sondra. I'm the owner of Get It Done Coaching and VA Services. Thank you, Nestene.
Awesome. Sondra, when I see your logo, the very first thing that comes to mind is when you come across something like a small animal is injured, and you want to pick it up, and then you want to hold it. And
It's very protective.
You want to protect it.
It's very nice.
You want to keep it like all
It's
nice and safe, and then with the wording on the inside, get it done. It to me almost means like I can jump into this space, I can be safe, and it can get done.
It can still get done.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's beautifully done. I love that. And that, ladies and gents, is entrepreneurship in action. That is why we are here. That is why we do this show.
Something we will be doing is the links to the books. Hendrik, if you can send us the link to your book, we would appreciate that. Joanne, I think we have the link to your book, but if you could send that again, so we can actually put it into the description of this video. Guys, do yourselves a favor, support these people, support them, because I know that they support everybody else.
Yeah.
So what goes around comes around. You're going to learn a lot from Hendrik's book, especially if you're in the podcast space or you're looking to step into the podcast space. don't only buy the book. His information will be in the description at the bottom. Just reach out and go, hey, I'm thinking about buying the book. Can we have a conversation? And then talk to the author, learn, meet some people. Exactly the same with Joanne. Don't just get the book. Reach out, have a conversation, find out more, get to learn. And I suppose we'll put everybody else's links in the description as well.
Guys, if you saw someone on the show and you would love to support them or get to know them, I mean, honestly, like, why would you not? Like, seriously, these are the most fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs in the world. Just reach out and say, hey, saw you on the show. Let's grab a coffee. And remember to check out their links. And I hope you learned a lot. I know you learned a lot, okay? Because I've been in entrepreneurship for 10 years and I have learned a freaking lot today. And I just love learning from you all. And I just want to say thank you so much for putting this time aside to help us create this safe space. It is by far my favorite hour every single week, because I get to share it with you and I get to learn from you. And I get to share with you and grow with you and develop with you. And it's just such an amazing journey to be on, guys. Like, even if you check out some of the coffee shop shows from like 3 years ago versus like these ones, like, the journey is evident, and we are so happy to be on here with you guys. If you're watching right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, stand on your head, all of those beautiful things. And if you are one of our fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs, remember we're building the world's community, a tribe of the 500 most fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs in the entire world, because we want to save the world and then also get onto the Forbes 500 list together. So that's going to be epic. This is our journey. Thank you for watching. And remember, you can come back every single week. We're here every week for 1 hour. Come back next Monday. We'll see you then. Until then, may all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true. Bye.